This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we talk all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships to the adult industry itself, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. What's up, guys? I'm Sylvia Sage. Welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw. I am your host, Sylvia Sage, and join with me, not in studio, but from her very own home here in Hollywood, California, Miss Ryan Keely.
I'm here from my Christian Science reading room. Ryan Keely reporting live, looking at the literature, because I understand that we have a wordy topic today.
We do. We're actually getting into verbal foreplay today.
Are we going to get oral?
La, 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 la. I don't know why I did the la 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 la, but we're getting into
because
it.
It's oral, not oral, but also oral.
Also oral. Yeah. You know what you shouldn't do is the ABCs on a woman's vagina. That is an old wives' tale that does not work, by the way.
Who came up with that? First of all, you're going to get a tongue cramp.
Yeah. It's too much. But you look really cute doing it.
You know, maybe that's how I'm finally going to figure out how to do an ahiego face without looking like I'm having a stroke. Maybe that's why you do the ABC.
What face? The Asiago?
The ahiego, the anime face where you stick your tongue out and cross your eyes.
Oh, okay. I have heard that. I don't know why that's sexy. I'm not.
Because my eyes are crossed, I can't see myself doing it. And so I just feel like I'm having a stroke.
I mean, you're hot doing pretty much anything, but probably not that. Probably not. Okay. So why do you think, well, first off, is dirty talk important? And if so, why do you think it's so very important?
Man, oh man. Yes. Dirty talk is important. Language is important. Words can be incredible. I love dirty talk.
Same.
Not all the time. Sometimes I'm dirty talked out and I'm like, I don't want to say a thing, but I want you to dirty talk to me.
Yeah.
And I love that because I don't get that very often. I'm always the one that's like, take that cock out for me and start slowly stroking it. I love to, I mean, dirty talk, I think, is the part of the job that we don't really get recognized for as porn stars.
Yeah.
I feel like, because in real time, we are improvising an entire fantasy with a beginning, middle, and an end. Sometimes we'll also getting off ourselves.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are like, oh yeah, I could make money selling feet pics. And I'm like, no, you got to show your feet and you got to talk dirty.
And it's not easy to talk dirty while you're having sex because your brain is in a lot of different places. And it's not like, what's the sexiest thing I can say right now? You know?
I had a dirty talk fail recently.
Please tell. Do tell.
It was personal life, having sex.
Yeah.
Say something, tell me something dirty.
He said that or you said that?
He said that. Was
Okay.
Say something dirty and I was like, I just feel so connected to you right now.
And he's like, thanks.
I was like,
cool.
I love that. Wasn't what I was expecting. And I was like, I just feel so connected to you right now.
And he's like, cool. This is hot. So hot. Love it.
Yeah. I should have some synergy posters made up for my bedroom because that's always the goal.
That's hilarious.
So that's a dirty talk fail.
That's a recovered one. You can recover pretty easy from that one, though. Do you feel like you've ever had someone dirty talk you to where you're like, okay, now we're done. Like no more sex. Like you've crossed a line you cannot come back from.
I don't know. I'm pretty good at disassociating.
Yeah.
You want to see me not listen? Super easy. Shh, 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 shh. But I can just do that mentally. I don't even need to be like obvious. But I see you talking. It's just not computing. Dirty talk fails. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I think the only time dirty talk really, when it crosses the line, is when someone asks me to do something that is not something that I normally do, and I'm not in the mood for it.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest dirty talk fail. And there's also, I think with dirty talk, it's knowing your partner's parameters. I've also run into problems where people are like, say something dirty to me, and I'm like, I'm going to need you to be more specific, because I speak dirty in many genres.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about how much I love your cock and how much I wish there's 3 guys standing around and jerking off on my face right now? And then I want to be like a big, spunky, yummy, slutty mess. And then I want you to blow the last load on my face. Yeah, we can do that. For some people, that's going to kill their boner.
Right. Right.
You know, do we want to talk about like, what would you like to dirty talk about? Because I am very flexible, you know, like, you want to do some small penis humiliation, which I love doing.
So when do you introduce that question then? When you're like getting to know somebody, when do you introduce like the how dirty can the dirty talk go? Like how do you, what's that conversation look like for you?
So I generally follow other people's leads when it comes to dirty talk. I'm happy not talking because I shoot a lot of JOI videos and a lot of customs where JOI
jerk off videos, by the way.
Jerk off instruction video.
Yeah.
And I shoot a lot of videos where I am telling a whole story, and essentially I am dirty talking for 3, 5, 7, 10, 12 minutes. And so I don't need to do that in my personal life.
Yeah.
I like to be dirty talked to. I like to be told just how fucking hot and pretty I am. I don't like to be asked questions because I'm overly analytical and I overthink them. It's the same reason I'm bad at Cards Against Humanity. I'm like, but actually, what do you?
They're like, what do you want? You're like, chicken and rice, probably.
In what context are we talking?
Yeah.
What's the timeline? At this moment, I'm very much enjoying your labia, your penis.
Right.
What do I want overwhelmed? What do I want sexually long term? Like,
right. What's the question exactly?
But what we need some more responsibility. Dirty talk is tough. Dirty talk is tough, and I can understand why people are really intimidated by it. But the thing is that just the first step to being good at dirty talk is getting comfortable being vocal, period.
Yeah.
And so I'm very vocal. And it's, you know, I moan loudly. Yeah. You know, my neighbors probably know when I'm having sex. Yeah. You know, I am constantly giving enthusiastic consent. I'm just like, yes, 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 more, please, yes. Oh, slower, faster, slower, you know, deep, whatever it is. There is an ongoing conversation that is happening, which I consider would you consider that dirty talk? Is that dirty talk?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I always tell people to like start, if they don't know how to like get started in dirty talk, like just start by simply walking through what you want. Like, I love someone to kiss my ears or kiss my neck. So I say that when we're making out. I'm like, oh, just go and kiss my ears or kiss my neck. Or like if they do something right, I'm like, oh, yes, that is like what I love. And I'm
really good. When you do that, it gives me tingles. Yes. It makes my pussy juicy. Like that, I think just being descriptive in the moment and getting to learn those words. But it is hard to think of words. And I think that people don't know their adjectives. And I think
especially when you're getting fucked, you know, like,
Did you remember your word of the day? What's the word of the day?
Because I think a lot of times all people are thinking internally is how great this feels, or maybe it doesn't feel great, and you're also thinking that, but you're like, oh God, how do I vocalize it with maybe if it doesn't feel good without hurting their feelings or something along that nature? Or I just had something happen recently where I was giving a blowjob to a civilian, and I mean, I'm down there forever, and in my head I was thinking like, I've done an 18-man blow bang faster than I'm getting this man off. Like, what is happening? And finally, eventually did come. But afterwards, I was like, what the fuck was that about? I was like, why? Like, what was happening? And he was like, oh, honestly, if you would have just gripped it a little bit tighter. I was like, then fucking say that. So I would have been done 20 minutes ago. Instead, you just let me suck your dick for 30 minutes. Right?
That is so rude.
Yeah.
That is, as someone with severe TMJ, which 100% comes from being an oral pleaser.
Yeah.
Jesus, you need to fucking say something.
I was angry.
Say something.
Yeah. It was like honestly, it was our first fight because I was like, I can't believe you were okay with me sucking your dick for that long. I was like, honestly, I'm offended.
My neck's going to be sore.
Hurts. Yeah. I was like, my jaw hurts. My neck hurts. You let me bounce up and down and I've got sweat beating down my back.
Yeah.
You know?
Imagine jumping rope for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I said that. I said, I know you probably don't suck a lot of dick, but it is effort that I just put into doing what I just did. And all you would have had to say was, grip it a little bit tighter.
Oh, I might have thrown something.
I'm telling you. I almost kicked him out of my house, girl. I almost kicked him out.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. No, that is unforgivable.
We recovered, but yeah, I was pissed. Yeah.
I had a similar situation. So I took part in the first, it was a reverse blow bang in VR.
Yeah. Which VR is hard enough, by the way.
VR is hard enough.
Yeah.
There's, I can't remember if I was the 12th girl or the 13th girl. It was World Cup themed. I was the referee. And so there's the male performer who, because it's VR, can't say anything and is literally behind an entire thing in front of his face and like can't move his hands, can't say anything, and we can't cut because it's 12 girls. Like,
oh my God.
There's no way we can cut.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, cool. At the end, you're going to make sure that like I had a clock, like how long each girl was on, you know, these are things they're allowed to do, not allowed to do, like call penalty cards, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm running this whole thing and like, okay, cool. Now you're going to finish him. And I'm like, this man's penis has literally been through a meat grinder.
Right.
You know, like specifically before the scene, he was like, please don't deep throat me. There's a lot of you. That's gonna be a lot of chafing. Like, please just be kind and gentle. And by the end of it, I was like, it doesn't matter what I do because he is so numb from just trying to not come as 12 women were trying as hard as they could to get him off.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you get in there, the girls get competitive and they're going to try all these different things. They're going to get crazy. And, which makes for a great scene. I understand it's a great scene, but then they're like, okay, so come and finish him off. I'm like, I can't ask him what he likes. I can't ask him what he doesn't like.
Yeah.
I can communicate. Like, and and he's sitting in a pile, like literally
a
like
pile
just
of spit.
Puddle of cold drool. And I was like, so his balls are cold. Yeah. Like they're wanting to hide. Like this is not a happy penis. And so finally what I did is I just lined us all up and I was like, you need to jerk off all over all of us. We need to share this cum because I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do anything. And I was like, you need to just make us messy because had I been able to ask him, maybe we could have gotten somewhere. But because there was no communication and I couldn't see the visual cues, like are his pupils dilating? Is he getting more flushed? You know, like I could only see, you know, I couldn't even see his hands because he was sitting on his hands. So, because normally I can like look, are they like gripping really hard? Are they holding on to me? You know, what's happening? You know, if I pull on their balls and like add a little tension, you know, are they
is that going to hurt them or they love it? Yeah.
Or do they love it? That's going to make them nut. So I was like, please make us messy.
Yeah. It's so important. It's so important to be able to have that conversation with people and to be able to openly communicate what you love and what you do not love. Yeah. People have no idea, honestly.
Dirty talk is just communication. I love that it's been put on this pedestal. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to talk dirty. And I'm like, no, you're just going to communicate your wants and needs and fantasies.
Yeah.
It's just communicate. It's not dirty talk.
Yeah.
It's communication.
Yeah. What level do you love in your personal life to take dirty talk to? Like, do you love if a guy's like, you dirty slut, or do you want it to be more respectful? Like you said, you like someone calling you pretty and beautiful. Like,
I like the full spectrum. It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
And it depends on what we're doing. Like, if we're having like a lazy Sunday where we're just stripping off our sweatpants and we're a little bit hungover and just want to come, probably don't want you to choke me and slap me in the face.
Yeah.
But if we're coming home, after, it's been a stressful
drinks, yeah.
Or even just a stressful day. Like if I've had a stressful day, I want it rough. I want it hard. I need to get fucked. Like if most people, when they're like really like, if I'm being a fucking cunt, it's kind of worth sticking around because I will probably be like, okay, spoon me. And after like 3 minutes, I'll just be like, I need that fucking dick.
Throw it in there. Get as rough as you can get.
Yeah. Okay. But that's a communication thing.
Yeah, of course.
But where I like to do dirty talks, I like to do dirty talk over text because being the nerd that I am, and also being the recovering Catholic that I am, I don't want to talk about things necessarily.
I love that.
But I do want to use my words to get what I want. Because I was raised where I don't talk about my feelings. That's not something I do. I do that therapy once a week. No one else has to deal with it. Yeah. The rest of the time, I'm going to communicate. And if it's anything that I'm like shy about, I'm going to send you a dirty text like, oh, I want to wear a naughty outfit for you later. What would you like me to wear? And that's generally how I communicate. And I think that for me, dirty texting is definitely a love language of mine.
Yeah. It's
for
foreplay.
Sure.
I think it's total foreplay. Yeah.
Yeah. Good text game is actually
so important.
I can't be with someone who's not good with the texting.
Yeah, and good with banter. Banter is hot to me. If you're funny, that is like verbal foreplay.
That is,
yeah.
Yeah.
Make me laugh. Oh my God. Make me laugh in the bedroom even. I'm like, okay. Now
this is why you hang out in comedy clubs and why I stay out of them because I'm like, I'm going to make some poor choices just because we got a good banter going.
I've made a lot of poor choices because of good banter. Let's be honest. It's tough, but okay.
But with go ahead.
Oh,
I was just going to say, for adjectives, people need to learn their words.
Yeah.
Reading romance novels is how I got good at dirty talk.
That's a good one. I can totally see that. I don't read any romance novels. I'm so bad about like girly stuff. I don't love love stories. Does that make sense?
Yes, but there's also alternatives to that. I mean, there's always. I mean, I'm old enough that like I used to read like Penthouse Letters and like
I used to read those. Yeah.
If you're not into like the romance side of things,
okay,
there is so much good erotica out there, and like I've got.
I would read about meeting a stranger on a bus and fucking him in a janitor's closet or whatever. Like that I would love. That would be hot to me.
And so whenever I'm trying to dirty talk, I try to go back to those and like use what words that the writer used that were really evocative. And then I'm like, okay.
Smart girl.
Those are the words that I use because it's like you can only say like, I love your hard dick so many times. And I love your hard dick is fabulous dirty talk. You kind of really don't need to say anything more than that. Like that counts as great dirty talk.
Yeah.
I love that you turn me on. Yeah. You are turning me on is great dirty talk. But if you want to take it to the next level, the cheat code is reading erotica or romance, anything that has like explicit sex in it and just being all like, what words do I like?
Yeah. What do you think is one of the craziest things you've said on set? Because I feel like on set we are given some of the craziest storylines and then we have to just stay in character with our dirty talk. So it gets crazy. What do you think is the craziest thing you've ever said?
I mean, I always get when doing because we're both quote unquote MILFs.
Yes.
It's the stepmom stuff is where I get wild and I'm like, oh, you guys are into this? You guys want to jerk off to this? This doesn't bother me. So I'm gonna make it weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make
it uncomfortable.
Weird.
Yeah.
Like, you want to fuck your mommy's pussy? You want to fuck your mommy's pussy? You want to come? You want to come and be a good boy? You want to come and make a big, spunky, yummy mess inside of mommy? You want to make a baby? You want to make a baby brother? Well, you can't tell your dad that you're breeding your mommy's pussy. And like, I'll go as like hard as they'll let me go. The dirtiest thing that I may have said, it may have been for a pure taboo scene.
Yeah.
And it was, my husband and I were taking our daughter's best friend's virginity.
Oh, okay.
And he was talking, the male performer was talking to me the whole time, and it was Tommy Gunn, who's a total professional.
Love, yeah. He's on the show next week, actually. So
he's great. Yeah. He's lovely.
Yeah.
And I think he said to me, he's like, oh my God, she's such a good slut. She's so ready to finally get fucked. And I'm like, yeah, she was raised with her daughter. Of course she is.
It's so creepy. Some of the things I'm just like, oh. But the thing is, I think for both you and I is like, it's a disconnect. And I know you said you disconnect really well. I'm the same way. Like to say that stuff, like I don't have kids, you don't have kids. Like I don't even think about it as being somebody's kid. I'm just like, I'm going to fuck with your brain. Yeah.
And that's the thing is that sometimes it's just, you want something that's shocking. You want to say something that's shocking. And that's like, and that can be the thing that, you know, twists the knife or torques the balls or like quivers the ovaries and makes things happen. It's just like, you're like, oh, that's so outrageous. Oh my God, I'm coming.
Sometimes I think I do it just to like get a laugh out of the camera crew also. Cause I'm just like, I want to like make them be like, what the fuck did she just say? You know?
That's always my goal.
Yeah.
That's always, after I've come like 2 or 3 times, cause I come pretty easily and I love sex. Yeah. So after I've come like 2 or 3 times, at that point, I'm just in it for the athletics and the jokes. And I'm like, I've gotten out like that tension, that like the I need to come energy. Yes, and at this point, I'm like, any other orgasm I have is bonus. Yeah. Any other storytelling that I'm doing is just great production. It's going to make a great scene. It's going to make a lot of people happy. And if I can make the people happy in this room right here, right now with jokes, we're going to go for it. The best, I wasn't on set for this.
Okay.
But this was a line that had been said on a set that I was on like 2 days later, and everyone was like, oh my God, can you believe a girl said this? And I think it was either a girl or a girl multi-girl scene, but one girl was fisting another girl and was like, give me what pertains to me.
Give me what pertains to me.
And that's always stuck in my head, is just
she was not reading romance novels. She was reading different types of books before coming to set that day.
Right? And I'm like, what? I want to read these books. These books sound good.
But do you think because of porn, like, do you think that porn ever makes it, like, do you think porn ever takes dirty talk too far?
Yes.
It makes it like, okay. Yeah,
yes,
I think
100%.
So too.
I feel like there are things that we do on camera that don't translate to regular life. And one of the things is the amount of noise, the continuous amount of noise that as performers we're kind of encouraged to make. Yeah. I had a civilian friend of mine who's like, I love watching porn, but I always hate it when the girls turn around and are like, and I'm like, that's because we're told to like moan and groan at all times, and we're just trying to mix it up. So we'll do the teeth hissing. Yeah. And so and that's just filling the silence because it is awkward as heck to have sex stone cold sober in the middle of a room in the
usually morning. Yeah.
In the
middle
morning,
of the day, whatever.
Bright light of day with bright lights and like a bunch of people standing around and like everyone being super, super quiet. So everybody knows exactly what you're doing. So I feel like even if we weren't encouraged by directors and like, you know, the norms of pornography to make those noises, I feel like, I think everyone in that situation starts to turn it up and then it just becomes a cycle. Yeah. Because it's like, it's so quiet. This is awkward. I'm going to moan. And sometimes it'll be things like right now I've got a chopper flying overhead. And if I'm in a scene and I don't want to cut, like I'm pulling off like a really complicated position and I'm like, I want to get my 3 minutes in this position because this is tough. Yeah. I don't know if I can get back in this position. I'll be like, oh yeah, we're going to be really loud so we don't hear the truck in the background.
Definitely done that before.
My leg is up here. My head is down here. I'm in a high heel.
I've even done it if like my cats are meowing and I'm like, oh, wow, that's so good. I can't hear that meow, can you?
Yeah. So I think if people expect porn level dirty talk in their personal life, they need to know a little bit more about why it exists.
Yeah.
And then realize that I feel like the best dirty talk that I do in a scene is usually the pre-scene checklist.
Yeah.
Depending on how they're done. I recently shot with Allison Ray, and she was like, I actually record this and I put this on my YouTube channel because people like to see
I love that.
our conversation through it. Cause it's not like it's not like a PA being like, blah, 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 blah. It's us being like, okay, what are your hard no's today?
Yeah.
What do you really enjoy? Oh, would you be open to trying this?
Yeah.
Oh, you like XYZ. And at the time we were shooting at my house, so I was like, oh, you like XYZ? Well, I happen to have, K through. Right. Yeah. I've got a lot of letters of the alphabet. How would you feel about incorporating these? And she's like, yeah. And you can see, you can see people getting excited. And so I feel like that's where the good dirty talk is. And then after it's just describing what's happening.
I talk about that checklist all the time and like how lucky we are to have it and how I wish I could incorporate that checklist into an everyday dating life. Like,
oh, I do.
How fun. You're like, here's the form. Just check what you're comfortable with. And yeah.
I'm not on the spectrum, but I'm ADHD, so I'm spectrum adjacent.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do our specificity.
Yeah. It's smart. I mean, and it's going to make it for better sex for everybody. So.
Yeah. Tell me what you like.
Okay, so first off, when we're talking about the constant noises in porn, there is something that does drive me crazy is I feel like, and maybe it's everybody, but what I've seen is a lot of the newer talent that especially feels like they have to be constantly making a noise, that they're making noises that don't coincide to what the sex is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you've barely touched them and they're like having this crazy orgasm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever like turn down porn when you're watching because of shit like that, where you're like, I can't even hear her fake shit anymore? Like her dirty talk ruins it.
I haven't watched porn with sound on since. I mean, the last time I watch porn with the sound on is if I'm watching a porn film that's like known as like a classic erotic film. Like I recently rewatched the opening of Misty Beethoven. But that is a classic porn film. But the first, in Misty Beethoven, they're teaching this girl to be the ultimate seductress. And her first challenge is to seduce someone without using a single word. Oh. And so that actually speaks to the power of dirty talk of language, because it can also turn someone off real fast. Yeah. I mean, there's been so many times I'm like, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z to so-and-so. And then I get to set and they're just like,
the worst.
Can we talk about like when crypto first came out? That was the driest summer of my life, vagina-wise. The summer that everyone.
Bring up crypto one more time, motherfucker.
Because it'd be the male talent talking to the sound guys, talking to the producer about NFTs and ba ba ba, and I was like, I wanted to fuck today.
Yeah.
I came here to fuck.
I came here for the sex, not a boring ass conversation.
And then we just sit around and talk about the NFT. I'm like, I can't. Shh.
Only talk sexy talk, no money talk, unless you're actually making it. I feel like a lot of those people just lost money on that. That stuff. Anyway.
It was just dumb. It was just dumb. I was just like, I don't care.
No.
I don't care. And we're here to have sex. We're not here to talk about our stock portfolios.
That's
if I want to talk about my stock portfolio, I'm not going to.
I will say sometimes the talk of money does turn me on, but that's a different story.
But that seems to be a different type of money talk. That's not the speculative currency. Like, oh, you're getting into junk bonds. Are you concerned that they're called junk bonds?
Okay. Last thing, because we've run out of time.
We're way off topic.
Last thing, give us your best 10-second dirty talk. Give it to us. I want to hear it. I hear your sexiest.
I am so wet right now. My pussy is clenching. I feel... Who gave me a thumbs down?
Who did give you a thumbs down?
Who gave me a thumbs down?
Not me. That's Zoom. Zoom said Zoom they did not like your talk.
Okay, let me try again. Okay, Zoom. For those of you that are watching on video, it just got a thumbs down. I'm so horny right now. I'm afraid that if you don't put your hands all over me, I'm going to do something embarrassing. My nipples are so hard. I can feel the texture of my shirt, and I really need you to suck on them. I need you to put them in your mouth and take your tongue and just glide them around my nipples. Just that, please. And even that would make me feel so much better. But if after that you want to just slide your hands down my body and grab my ass, grab it nice and hard. Oh, that made me so wet. I'm already so wet. Can I take your hand? Can I show you how wet you've made me?
I feel like I have to lick your nipples right now. Like, that was wildly impressive. That was an A+. If Zoom won't give you a thumbs up, I will. That was amazing. That was phenomenal. All right, guys, if you want to find more of Ryan, her dirty talk, her podcast, her OnlyFans, tell them where they can find you, Ryan.
RyanKeely.com will take you right to my OnlyFans. I Seduce the Dragon is the name of my brand new D&D podcast, istdpod.com, or just search I Seduce the Dragon on Patreon.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being with us today. We appreciate you so much. And until next time, guys, adios.